I was working for a TV distributor with both cable and dish channels. They had their own brand of TV box/decoders. When the customer in question called in and started by saying that I had to believe him, I knew it was going to be a great call. The log showed he had called several times before. Customer: when my wife is at home, the remote control to the decoder doesn't work. Me: yes, it does, but I'll hear you out. Inner me: I bet she takes the batteries. Customer: your colleagues all guessed that she takes the batteries. Inner me: darn it. Customer: but she doesn't. I can be holding the remote control and it works fine. She comes home and 10 minutes later it doesn't work anymore. I haven't let go of the control, and even tried changing batteries when it stopped working just to be sure, but it doesn't make a difference. We go back and forth for a long time, thinking of different things that could be an issue. He's being nice about my inability to help him, and though I started out thinking he's just another customer who thinks that the reply to "did you check if the cable is connected properly?" is always yes, I did. I even tried 5 different cables, even though they didn't. I quickly realize he's tech savvy and we test and discard a dozen theories. In the end, 45 minutes later, we solved it. When his wife got home, she pulled the curtains apart to let in light, and the sunlight was directly on the IR receiver, interfering with the remote control. When his wife left, he pulled the curtains to see the TV better. They tried to lower production cost of the new line of decoders, so the dark plastic in front of the IR receiver was just that, dark plastic instead of a filter to block other light. Figuring that out was the most satisfying tech support moment I've had. About a week ago I get a call from an employee of my company and she has a list of about 5 different things she needs done. The first 4 are easy enough: password resets, that sort of stuff, but the last is the reason for this post. $me: okay, since we got all that taken care of, is there anything else I can assist you with today? $caller: yes, I need to save some video to my desktop. $me: puzzled, all right, where is the video stored? $caller: YouTube. $me: unfortunately we can't do that. $caller: well, why not? I'm telling you I need it, so do it. $me: well, the problem is there is copyright laws that prevent it, so it's actually illegal to do it. $caller: that sounds crazy. I just want to download them and save them to my computer. $me: I'm sorry, but we can't do that. Yes, I do know there are ways you can, but they aren't fully legal and I'm not going to risk my job by having them do something they shouldn't and they say, well, he showed me how. A trouble ticket got escalated to me after first level desktop support had already gone to the user's location and looked into the issue. A DeskJet 1220, yes, it's an antique. No, this wasn't a decade ago, this was this morning. The far left light was blinking and it wouldn't print. First level had rebooted the computer, repeatedly rebooted the printer, and resetted the ink cartridges. I looked at it, the blinking light is over an icon of the ink cartridge. Quick Google search to verify, yup, it means reseat the ink, clean the ink contacts, or the ink is low. The user had spare cartridges right there at her desk, so I swapped the ink and amazingly enough the light stopped blinking and it started printing. Seriously. I had to drive to a remote, only 15 minutes away, site because a printer was out of F-King ink. Twitch. What is it with personnel? They take care of themselves and shit on everyone else. Backstory: after blowing through 700 hours of correspondence courses online, I decided that the education aspect of my 201 file needed to be updated. I made an appointment to have this done. I show up with my binder of certificates and request that my 201 file be updated to reflect the continuing education I've completed. The personnel SGT looked at it and said, no way, I'm not adding this in, it's too much work. Babook. I walk out without a word, knowing this will be coming back to haunt G1 yet again. Fast forward 3 weeks later. I get a work order to fix a desktop down at G1. I walk in, talk with the user and start to come up with a solution to their problem. As I'm sitting in their cubicle, I'm suddenly surrounded by 4 personnel clerks, all saying I need my computer worked on. None of them have work orders, but yet they feel they are entitled to skip the line. I spun around in the chair, looked at them and pointed to them all and said fuck you. I came in a couple weeks ago to get my 201 file updated and you couldn't even do that? Fill out work orders and I might be back down here in 3 weeks. The clerks realized they messed up. And here comes the bribe. We could update your 201 right now. Really? Amazing. I just happen to have all of my paperwork to update it with me, right now. I said. With speed I've never witnessed from a G1 minion, they had my 201 file out, one clerk reviewing what was being updated, one clerk typing the updates on the record sheet and one clerk inserting the updates into my file. It would truly amazing how fast Milpoken can work when given incentive. They were done with over 150 certificates in 15 minutes flat. They brought the 201 back over me to review and check, it was good. I told them it was good. Faster than a speeding bullet, they closed my 201 file and put it back into the cabinet. My 201 was updated, and 4 G1 minions got their computers fixed. These are kind of fun. 20 years working Army IT has brought forth lots of gems. Stand by for more. I was in tech support for a large company when an old lady called in and wanted help connecting her computer to the Wi-Fi. During the troubleshooting we established Wi-Fi connection with WPS, after that I needed her to open a new internet tab to try to connect to a website that controls her connection speed and stability. So I told her, can you open a new internet window please? And she complied and told me she had opened a window. And after a while I understood that something was amiss. So I asked her if she had opened a new window for the internet. In which she told me, yes, I have had it open since you asked, but I don't know how it will help. Then I understood, she had opened a real window in the room she was in. Well, she did as I said, sort of. I am the IT manager, sole IT person, at my dealership. All the programs we use are web-based. I can do password resets, but I make everyone call the vendors for it. Last Saturday was a busy weekend. I am working on my end of the week reports. I have 4 different jobs there. SM, Sales Manager. FM, Finance Manager. Me. Phone rings. SM, our printer isn't printing and we have deals to print. Me, what does the LCD screen on the printer say? SM, I don't have time to look, come fix it now. I walk down there and check it, it is out of paper. Me, the printer is not broken, you need to put paper in it. SM, put some paper in it. Me, I walk off. I go back to my office, just as I sit down my phone rings. FM, my printer is out of ink. Me, your printer does not use ink, it uses toner and ink. FM is required to have an extra cartridge in their office. FM, I used that one 2 weeks ago. I haven't had the chance to order one. Me, walk next door to the other FM office and get their extra one. FM, she used hers too. We have deals to print and you are stopping us from doing our job. I hang up the phone and go grab the credit card from our controller and tell him I am making a toner run. He has me sit down and proceeds to tell me how he has never seen so many people in one place that cannot solve their own problems. As the toner I buy from the local chain store is 100% more expensive than our vendor, he calls and informs the finance managers that the extra cost for the toner is coming out of their paychecks. Short and silly user story. I worked as a CRM admin for a couple of years and spent a lot of time doing support for end users regarding application-specific problems. The salespeople were always the neediest users. One of my favorite scenarios unfolded thusly. Sales guy sends email complaining about a perceived problem. This is something he has brought up before. It isn't a problem and is merely how the system works based upon the rules of the business. Me sends a moderately detailed email back describing why the CRM application worked this particular way. Sales guy sends a response to the effect of, "I don't have time to read this, no doubt BC he had salesing to do, I'll just come over and talk to you." Me waits with bated breath as I hear footsteps grow closer. Sales guy and I begin talking. Sales guy and I continue talking. Sales guy and I continue talking. Sales guy and I continue talking. 20 or so minutes pass and he leaves basically happy. The point is that it would have taken him no more than 3 to 5 minutes for him to read my email and get a concise answer. Instead, he chose to talk in circles and get the same answer in a greater amount of time. He didn't have 5 minutes to read an email, but he somehow came up with 20 minutes to talk. Different ways of consuming information or something, I guess. So where I work we got a 4-floor building with several multifunctional printers/scanners spread out over the building, I think a dozen in total. When their ink cartridges run out or the waste toner gets full, we get a mail message to warn users and us about it. Most of the time we place cartridges and waste toners in cupboards near the multifunctional printers so users can change it for themselves, being a 24/7 workplace and all. The printers auto-order new stock as needed. Recently we noticed empty waste toners piling up in our supply, so we figured that we had been overlooking the need to place them in the building. Shortly afterwards we get a notification mail that a waste toner was almost full and would soon require changing. One of our IT team members goes out with the new waste toner to the multifunctional printer. He goes to the menu of the printer to check how much waste is in the waste toner. 0% full. No waste was present in the toner. He figures that is strange and figures he will need to check notification settings on the printer. Before leaving he tells people that he will place the new empty waste toners near the printer. He opens up the cupboard and sees a pile of waste toners laying there unopened. He goes to ask the people what they do when a waste toner is full. "Oh, we just dump the waste in the trash bin. The highly flammable and cancerous waste is just dumped in the trash bin." Apparently they found a way to open the waste toner. Normally for safety reasons it only opens when inserted into the printer, and used it to dump it in a trash bin. We are very glad we don't have any users that require us holding their hands through everything, but this might just be a bit too much of the "we'll figure it out ourselves" mentality.